Did you ever have a project that was over budget or behind schedule? Do you wish your projects could be successful? Well, successful projects are based upon achievable plans. These achievable plans are derived from a credible estimate of the cost, schedule, and effort to achieve the project's intended goals and requirements, built upon a foundation of risk and quantitative project management. A company out of El Segundo, California, helps companies achieve successful projects with a tool that builds the foundation for success.
People have a hard time planning and managing their projects, especially in software, but in all the areas we cover. People don't know how long they really take, so they work on guesses or other people's desires where there may be no ability to produce, and they end up on death marches. Our software solves their problems by telling them how long it'll take, how many people it'll take, how reliable it will be.
Galorath's product is called SEER, and it's divided into 3 areas: software estimation, hardware estimation, and product design for manufacturability. With each of these areas, Galorath has a version of its software specifically designed to meet its customers' needs.
We believe that we provide the suite of products that embody the methods and tools and processes that organizations require to achieve on-time, on-budget performance in doing product development.
For software estimation, users can take advantage of Galorath's SEER-SEM, a powerful decision support tool that estimates the cost, labor, staffing, schedule, reliability, and risk for all types of software development and/or maintenance projects. SEER-SEM is effective for all types of software projects, from commercial IT business applications to real-time embedded aerospace systems. Organizations use SEER-SEM on their software projects to manage and control costs, meet schedules, deliver quality, and manage project risk.
Once you've generated a credible estimate with SEER-SEM, we can literally, at the push of a button, convert that project estimate into a detailed project plan in Microsoft Project based upon the customer's lifecycle process, the way that they allocate resources to a project, and we do that automatically, creating a Microsoft Project plan. Once you have that detailed project plan, we developed what we call SEER PPMC, Parametric Project Monitoring and Control, so that a customer can monitor and control the performance of their project when it's in process. This really addresses an area known as performance measurement, and in performance measurement, earned value management is really considered the gold standard. So what we did in essence is to marry the methods of earned value management with our parametric estimation engine. So we really provide the customer with a very powerful capability to manage their projects in process and keep them on course for on-time, on-budget performance.
For hardware estimation, Galorath customers will want to utilize SEER-H, a powerful decision support tool providing life cycle cost for any scale hardware project, from individual components to a variety of complete project assemblies, including ground, air, space, and sea vehicles, electronic devices, industrial equipment, and consumer electronics and appliances.
In our 25-plus year history, we've amassed thousands of actual projects. And what we've done is to encapsulate them into what we call knowledge bases. What that means for an end user is that they can provide a minimum set of inputs to the models in order to get real-world answers out of the system very, very quickly. That's very vitally important to be able to do these things in a very consistent and credible and traceable way.
And in their last area of expertise, the Galorath Corporation has designed SEER-DFM, a powerful decision support tool that provides accurate, reliable estimates for manufacturing costs. In addition, SEER-DFM provides design and production guidance for achieving efficient and affordable designs through the management of cost, labor, assembly, process, part design, material, and production variables that can significantly affect manufacturing costs.
SEER-DFM can allow people to sit down and perform what-if analysis and see what the implication is on the cost and producibility of those design contemplations. Another vitally important piece of SEER-DFM is for doing what we would call should-cost analysis. You know, more and more organizations are outsourcing the fabrication of individual parts and subassemblies of their products. And what they've done in that process oftentimes is they've lost the process expertise, the real expertise to understand what should that product cost, that part or subassembly or assembly cost that they're outsourcing. What SEER-DFM does is to allow them really to have an entire virtual staff of manufacturing process experts looking over the shoulder of their people and letting them know what those designs should cost.
What drives the powerful suite of software is a feature called parametrics-based estimating or mathematical modeling. Parametric models are based on a set of equations and take its name from the fact that they are modified through a set of parameters. Parametric methods are very useful for subjecting uncertain situations to the rigors of a pre-specified model. They can usually embody a great deal of prior experience, and parametric methods often are less biased than human thought processes alone.
The idea of parametrics-based estimating is to use technical and programmatic aspects of a project to describe it and use that as the basis of an estimate. For instance, if you're building something, a classic parametric variable would be weight, and you would try to estimate what the cost of something would be based on the weight.
Galorath's work does not end with the sale of its product. The company conducts workshops which provide core training on the software and introduce users to parametric estimating. Through presentation, discussion, and extensive hands-on exercises, the classes provide all of the basic skills needed to use SEER tools to produce and evaluate estimates.
We listen to our users. We spend a lot of time, as I mentioned before, with support. We try to really understand how the users are using the tool. Certainly, when we see an area where something's confusing the users, we try to make corrections so it is more intuitive. As far as features and things like that, we often see how can we expand the use of tools, in other areas, to other technologies, to other applications.
Galorath has one of the most knowledgeable team of experts in the industry. They have consultants out in the field developing specialized cost estimates and establishing cost estimating relationships for a number of clients, including NASA, the U.S. Air Force Space and Missile Command, and others.
I've done a lot of support with clients to do size estimations and modeling using and tools to do size estimation of software on projects for the Air Force and some for the Navy. Did some work with Boeing. In every case, we're using SEER as a tool to support the analysis and give us some objective look at what would be a real purely engineering estimate by applying the database averages that come out of our model, so that we can say, well, here's a project, and if we've defined it reasonably well, then we would expect the nominal team, a typical company, to do this typical problem to cost this much, take this long.
The customers that I'm supporting right now are all government program offices, and the prime benefit to them is having an independent cost estimate separate from the contractor's estimate that allows the government to have an increased knowledge, awareness, and ability to forecast the risks on the program, the costs of the program, when it's likely to be delivered, and knowing those pieces, they can plan on workarounds if risk items actually come to fruition. They're able to not be in reactionary mode as much and be able to plan for change in the future.
For more information on the company, be sure to visit www.Galorath.com.